Polling the crews at the start. They've been given their 2-minute warning. It's amazing how that 2 minutes can take forever and be over in a moment at the same time when you are sitting up there thinking, I'm breathing, why am I nervous? Is everything tight? Checking my bolts, relaxing. You're thinking a lot of things, but externally you look chill, cool, calm, and collected. That's how it works. It's another beautiful thing about this sport. When we actually row true steady state, we actually develop the skill of calming down. When we allow ourselves to train truly aerobically, our bodies change in a way that allow us to be really good at resting and digesting rather than staying overstimulated all the time. So that's just another beautiful thing about this sport. We get to practice these skills sitting at the start line, and they help us later in life. We have a start in the first varsity 8 for Wisconsin, Alabama, Iowa, Notre Dame, and UCF. So go from rest and digest, that calm, and then straight to a heightened sense of awareness. Off we go, full aggressive. Why do you get nervous at the start? Because you care. You care about what you are about to do. You care about the people that you are on this grand adventure with. And now you get to, as soon as that start signal goes, use all of that energy, all of that heightened sense of awareness, and all of that care. Rather than thinking of it as nerves, think of it as care to go on this grand adventure that is the first varsity 8s, the final race of the morning for these particular crews, for these teams. Some of these teams will race later on in different categories, but as far as first varsity 8s for these 5 programs, this is the final race of the day for them. Fastest start right now is Iowa out in the middle in that varsity 8, in that center lane, lane 3. On the inside lane, UCF once again showing a solid start. So UCF currently sitting in second place. Sandwiched between them is Notre Dame. Right now, those are your 3 fastest schools on the field: Iowa, UCF, and Notre Dame, with UCF looking to be on the advance as if they want to be the first ones to the first 500 meters down. That would be a great showing for them to continue this trajectory. Certainly the fastest mover on the field, as my depth perception can tell me. From there on the opposite side, Alabama and Wisconsin. Wisconsin with a slight, tiny advantage over Alabama. Different trends in those schools. Quicker starting out of Wisconsin, quicker finishing out of Alabama. So stay calm, cool, and collected. Stick to your plan, and then open your eyes when you cross the line and see what shakes out. UCF in the lead by about a deck over early leaders Iowa, and on the advance. That momentum certainly was with them and is staying with them as they move pretty cleanly. The Knights out of UCF from Orlando wear gold and black. They have white blades, white hulls, or light colored blades, I should say. The sun could be deceiving me, but white blades, white hulls, black unisuits, and a little bit of gold peppered in there as well. Let's see if that little bit of gold dust can help them in this first varsity 8 race and advance them down the course in first, as they've taken another seat or 2 over our early leader and host school this year in Iowa. UCF is one of those programs of the 18 schools here. 7 came in with a ranking, 6 more came in receiving votes. UCF is a program that came in receiving votes, and of the 6 schools, there are 10 total crews in the entire country that receive votes in the Collegiate Rowing Coaches Poll Association poll. The week 5, they do it every week. And UCF, of the 10 schools, 6 of the schools that received votes are here, and UCF has received the most votes. So of the RV receiving votes schools, UCF comes in with technically the higher rank relative to those receiving votes schools right now, showing that they are rowing to or above their current ranking as far as the polls go, as they have taken another seat on Iowa, but Iowa fighting hard, looking to take that seat back, potentially taking a move here momentarily. Notre Dame sitting in 3rd. When you see those buoys come, oftentimes they get used as benchmarks to make a move, whether it's a technical move or a psychological move or a specific thing that the coxswain has to say, or maybe you just know that enough of the race is down that you're willing to put a little more into it. So whenever you see a 250-meter check mark happen or a big orange buoy happen, take a look at some of the crews and see if their stroke rates change, or if their body language changes, or if their boat speed changes. That's what you're looking for when those things happen. If you're watching and you're curious about the bicyclists on the other side of the course at all, sometimes that's coaches. there is a path dedicated to coaches over there. That is just how world-class this facility is. Oh, you want a bike path for you? Sure, let's do that. So they're following along, watching the crews stroke by stroke as they race this morning. UCF out in front by 3/4 of a length over early leader Iowa. Iowa still in second, but being pressed hard by that long slow burn that Alabama has been practicing. So Alabama on the advance, Notre Dame in there as well. Currently Iowa still in second, but Alabama and Notre Dame are closely flanking them by 1/4 of a length, maybe a second tops separates Iowa, Alabama, and Notre Dame. Right now, UCF out by more than 2 seconds, looking to extend to at least 3 seconds as the last final quarter of the race is about to happen. 500 meters to go in just a few strokes. We'll take a look at those perfect margins as we look straight down this red buoy line, crossing 500 meters to go in just a moment. UCF has broken to Clearwater. They now have more than 3 seconds of a lead over current still second place Iowa, but it's just a matter of feet that separate Iowa from Alabama. Alabama moving slightly faster than Iowa at this present moment. So given another 500 meters and a very smart sprint by Alabama, it could be less, it could invert. Right now it is becoming nearly dead level. Alabama is charging hard. You can see that they want this race. They want to take it away from cross-conference rival, not but not within, but across it from the Big 12. The Big 12 wants to overtake the Big 10 and the ACC here right and now. UCF out in front, also part of the Big 12 this year, having shifted from the American Athletic Conference, so they are leaving SMU in behind and joining Texas and Tennessee and Alabama, Kansas State, all of those programs, as well as West Virginia and Oklahoma in the Big 12 this year. And based on what we're seeing, there is speed being gained in the Big 12. UCF out in front, Alabama on the advance, out sprinting everyone because they now have cut UCF's full length and open water lead into just a length. They have latched their bow. The Alabama, the Crimson Tide, is rolling their way toward the finish line. They've latched their bow onto the stern deck of UCF. Not enough time to overtake UCF, but still enough time to overtake second place. Very close between Alabama and Iowa for that second. Alabama with a slight advantage coming down to the line. Notre Dame still in the mix, but falling off of the pace that is being set by the Crimson Tide and by the Hawkeyes out of Iowa. Heads are down in the Iowa boat. They have poured everything they have into this deck. UCF by just under a boat length over Alabama. Alabama by a deck. Just fractions of a second over Iowa. The heads of the stern 2 or 3 athletes in that Iowa crew down. That is how much effort they poured. Sure, they did not take the win, but they certainly won in head, heart, and guts on that one. Poured it all out there. Way to row, way to race. Shoot, when I see stuff like that, it makes me want to tear up here. You guys should be proud of what your athletes are doing out on the water. Not just congratulations for what you're doing out there. Thank you for what you're doing out there. We're going to certainly bring me to tears by replaying that finish for you out on the screen. Take a look at the body language of what you're seeing, not just, in terms of the movement of the boats, but look at the body language of the athletes in that Iowa hull. They poured it out there. Valiant sprint by all athletes, really pushing to the end. Alabama did what they had to make sure they stayed ahead of them. At the end of the day, when you race, wins and losses are not measured by results. They are internal measurements. Did I do everything I could with what I had? Did we do everything we could with what we had? When you do that, you cannot lose.